Hello guys, this is Glenn from Sydney CBD Repair Centre, and today we have an ASUS ROG Phone 5S Pro with a broken display right there. So David will fix it for us. Let's go. So this repair session is gonna be a longer one than usual because this ROG Phone 5S Pro is gonna require some advanced disassembly from a really qualified technician. So David here is gonna take his time to remove this back plate. So far, this is a standard operating procedure when you try to repair a smartphone with this caliber. So this is kind of your gaming smartphone. Unlike your stylish iPhone devices or Samsung flagship smartphones, this ROG Phone 5S Pro has some performance grade components inside. So when I say performance grade, components that are geared towards gaming and of course other intensive tasks. So right here, we're just gonna remove this connector that connects to the back cover and slowly pry it open. And as you can see, if you've been following the channel, this configuration is unique to the ASUS ROG Phone 5 and 5S Pro. You can see that the main board is separated into 3 parts and the battery is separated into 2 parts. And you can see that on top, you have the camera, then the battery, then the main board, then a battery again, and then daughter board at the bottom. So the main board at the center is, of course, connected to a lot of flex cables, and the flex cables are going on top of each battery. So this is what we're gonna be dealing here with, tinkering about with ROG Phone 5S Pro components is very tricky. So if you want to DIY this kind of repair, I suggest that you rethink other options. So that's the first layer of the board. We're gonna remove some more flex cables that are connected to this board and then remove another one. So based on the density of the parts and the things that could go wrong, the higher risk of you destroying other components that are otherwise good to reuse. So also, just like this one, you need a specialized tool to remove that one screw, and then you have to lift up the bottom layer of the main board, and you can see that there's a blue thermal paste. It's more familiar to PC builders so that it will dissipate heat from the CPU. And then we're gonna remove the bottom battery because this is where the flex cable for the display is located. So we're just gonna lift up that flex cable, this one, and then we're gonna proceed now to the removal of the defective display. So the defective display can be removed by prying it open through the sides, and this is also a standard operating procedure that you can see for the repair of Samsung or other Android devices. So this is not something new. We're just gonna still put a lot of care into it because we don't want to destroy other components, just like what I said a while ago. So everything that you can see here will be reused aside from this broken display. You can see there's already disintegration on the cracked part. I'm just gonna slowly slice through the adhesive, and then it's now gonna be letting go any moment now. And there you go. So you have to pull out the flex cable to the display. You can see there at the bottom. Slowly let it go through the slot and then it's off. So the next stage is to prep the frame for the new display. So that means scraping off the old adhesives and gunk from the old glue and apply some fresh liquid glue so that we can install the new replacement glass or screen. It's now there. We're gonna get this replacement display that David sourced for this specific model. So if you want the convenience of having the correct part for your ROG phone, just head on to your local repair shop, let them source the component for you, or you can head on to Sydney CBD Repair Centre and we'll do the exact same process on your ROG Phone 5S Pro. So now we're basically rebuilding the smartphone, reverting back to the process that we committed earlier. The thermal paste will not be replaced. We're just gonna leave it as is. Push it in. Make sure that the flex cables are all on top of it, ready for connection. And then attach them one by one. We're not gonna be going through each of them because this is a very unique design. This is kind of flex cables for the charging, the camera, sensor, and of course the antenna for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We're just gonna screw this special screw in. So once again, if you want to DIY this ASUS ROG Phone 5S Pro, you might want to reconsider that thought. Because although you can have a lot of experience repairing the smartphone, the risk of you losing your smartphone to a mishandled screw or slip of your scalpel can damage these connections, and that's not going to be good. So this is the top layer. This is also the cover for the main board, which is also acting as the board for other components such as this one. This is for maybe cellular. There's a lot of antenna cables that are attached to this top layer of board. So we're just gonna screw it in and then we're gonna finalize and perform some final testing before we give it to our client. So this is a plastic piece. We're almost done. So if you want a repair by David and you're interested to avail of this service, you can message him on our Facebook page, or you can call us or visit our shop in Sydney. And you can see that it's now booting up. Another successful repair. So if you're outside of Sydney and you can't visit us, you can maybe message David through Facebook or through our website so that we can arrange a mail-in repair request so that you can send in your ROG Phone 5S Pro and we'll fix it for you, and once we're done, we're gonna send it back to you. So we're done here. We're just gonna attach this flex cable for the back cover, press it in. It's good to go. So if you've noticed, the adhesives on the display is kind of seeping out. So those residues can be cleaned off easily. So this is already good to go. But David is gonna put tempered glass, which is always free in the shop. And of course, it's gonna prevent the future damage like what you've seen at the start of the video. If you want some tips on how to install a tempered glass, this is it. Align once and then swipe down. I hope you enjoyed this repair, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers!
If you want your smartphone fixed for a very reasonable price, you may contact Sydney CBD Repair Centre. We also provide mail-in repair services for customers outside of Australia or Sydney. Just message us so we can arrange the shipping of your device.